The heavens have drawn a line in the sky. Vesta, the sacred flame of devotion, once lingered in Scorpio, the sign of shadows, secrets, and transformational intensity. In this placement, she whispered to the hearts of those who wield influence, leaders, messengers, visionaries. Before the Rubio trip to Israel, this was no ordinary moment. Scorpio demanded depth, demanded power, demanded a sacred focus on matters hidden from the casual eye. This is no coincidence that this sacred devotion has been pulled and wrapped in secrecy. There are hidden intentions, choices that have been touched by the transformative weight of Vesta and Scorpio. The energy was no doubt intense, ritualistic almost, a crucible of intention and consequence. Yet the will of the heavens does not remain fixed. Vesta has now moved into the sign of Sagittarius, carrying the torch from Scorpio's cave into the open expanse of the horizon. What was once secretive, intimate, and transformative now seeks vision, philosophy, and the bold pursuit of truth. The sacred flame that whispered in hushed tones now calls out across continents, seeking to understand, expand horizons, teach, explore, and dedicate a higher devotion into higher ideals of freedom and wisdom. The geometry of the heavens underlines this shift. Vesta opposes Uranus, Sedna, and Admetos in Gemini, signaling sudden revelations, the unraveling of hidden structures, and the testing of devotion through unexpected challenges. And yet, Vesta trines Saturn in Pisces, giving discipline, endurance, structure to this mission of expansion and travel. The old intensity of Scorpio's devotion is tempered, refined, and now propelled outward, no longer bound by the underworld of secrets, but ascending toward a larger prophetic vision. This is a call to witness the transition of sacred energy from the depth of the shadow to the clarity of vision. Those who were moved under Scorpio's gaze are now called to step into the light of Sagittarius, to share, to expand, to journey. What was once hidden is seeking to be understood with Vesta and Sagittarius. There is igniting of a flame, and this sacred flame moves with purpose, and we are called to follow its arc across the sky. In mythology, Vesta is the Roman goddess of hearth, home, and sacred fire. She's about religion. She ignites the flame, or she can extinguish the flame. She was one of the most important deities in ancient Rome because the hearth fire symbolized the life of a household and the vitality of the state itself. Her flame was never allowed to go out as it represented Rome's eternal spirit. In the Greek, Vesta is Hestia, a Greek goddess. Her primary symbol is the eternal flame. She's a priestess. Unlike other deities, Vesta has no statues or elaborate myths associated with her because she's deeply sacred. She is revered more as a presence, the spiritual flame, than a figure. Vesta's in Sagittarius from September 13th to November 15th, and she will travel with Astria. The last time Vesta was in Sagittarius was in 2018, from January to April 2018, and that's when we had the Parkland school shooting. Things were going on with Bill Cosby, and Brett Kavanaugh was the Supreme Court nomination. The tsunami in Indonesia movement was going on, mass shootings in synagogues, Hurricane Florence and Hurricane Michael, which were extreme because there was such expensive rebuilding. Jupiter was in Scorpio during this time. In March of 2018, Pastor John Hagee marked 60 years in full-time ministry, delivered a sermon in March reflecting on his long career and his message of the cross and blood atonement. He spoke of his enduring support for the state of Israel and his vision for Christians united for Israel to grow internationally, noting that him being 78 and the significant accomplishments of Christians united for Israel in the United States. He reflected on sacrifices and dedication of the founding fathers and the foundational principles of faith and freedom in America. So think back to that time period with you. That is what is taking place somewhat right now, but it's more of an emphasis with our government, our laws, and war. Now that she has entered Sagittarius, it's no coincidence that we see Marco Rubio in Israel, because Sagittarius rules religion, the long road of pilgrimage, fire, weapons unleashed. Its arrows can be hymns of praise or missiles of destruction. Its rivers may flow with healing waters or with floods of conflict. And now, in this very season, the sacred flame burns again in the land where history turns. Marco Rubio's journey across the seas shows that it's a living reflection of Vesta and Sag, where religion and politics and power intertwine in the sacred and contested land. Here, the eternal flame becomes a bargaining fire, a symbol of alliance, and a spark of both hope and peril. And all of this comes in the shadow of a silenced voice. The fall of Charlie Kirk is not just the end of a man, but the extinguishing of a torch carried through the ruins. His absence speaks like prophecy. When one flame is struck down, the fire does not die. It spreads, it transforms, it leaps into new vessels. Charlie Kirk's loss lingers as a warning, as though the archer's arrow has claimed another symbol in the struggle between light and dark. Vesta's flame stands at the crossroads. Will humanity tend it as a guiding lamp, renewing wisdom, faith, and devotion to truth? Or will the sacred fire become the blaze of fanaticism, missiles across the sky, and rivers turned into blood? This is the riddle of Vesta in Sagittarius, and the age itself trembles beneath its weight. There has been a reigniting of a flame with Israel, and these are signs in the unfolding prophecy. And the fallen voice of Charlie Kirk whispers a warning. The fire that we kindle now will shape not only nations, but eternity. Vesta and Sagittarius opposing Uranus brings a shakeup to our very foundations. And the opposition with Sedna is about betrayal. And there's a breakup with the opposition with Admetos. There is a breakup with a heavy force and the stillness of the tomb. There's a lot of tension. The sacred fire clashes with upheaval, with loss, with the weight of the immovable. The flame cannot burn freely. It's tested by chaos, by grief, and by destiny's anchor. Vesta will be trining Neptune in Aries, which is all about being mystical, things that are hidden from the past and from the future. Pluto in Aquarius extends a hand in sextile to Vesta in Sagittarius. There is a transformative breath that is igniting into a flame. It's a collective fire, the uprising of people, of technology, and the revolutions of thought. Vesta's sacred spark becomes fuel for collective transformation, awakening nations to a higher destiny. Vesta's fire is not gentle. It is certainly going to be opposed by chaos. Sagittarius is the archer. It rules religion, long journeys, rivers and skies, explosions, firepower. And the flame doesn't sit still. It moves, it spreads, and it flies like a missile through the night. This crossroad with the flame of life, with Vesta, can illuminate the way of wisdom. It can revive sacred devotion. The flame of life has no doubt been rekindled with Israel, and the archer has loosed the arrow. The heavens declare their prophecy, and the age of Aquarius trembles in fire. As Vesta moves through Sagittarius, keep your eyes on the temples. Keep your eyes on the religious dogma. And take everything with a grain of salt. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening to this video about Vesta in Sagittarius. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the little bell so you can be notified if I go live or if I upload a video. All right, until my next video, peace out.